This week we are going to share some of the news about the global Fab Lab Network and the Maker Movement just for you. How are you doing, Fabbers? This week most of the people have been traveling back from Fab 14 to the various places. There are some people that seems to be in a loop, touring around the world, like Vanessa. We saw her last week in Taiwan. She's been to a lot of places like Greece, Rome, Milano, well, several places. I hope she's making her travel safe back to Peru, and she will share some information about all this in the next program. But let's go back to things happening in the network, not related to Fab 14. This week we've learned that Fab Lab Ghana has their very first open exhibition. So congratulations, because as far as I've been able to see through social networks, you have been also like setting up all the area, all the pavement in front of the lab to make it better, to make it easier for people to access. So congratulations for that, and keep on the good work in Ghana. Talking about the network, it's time to introduce one of the sections that we plan to offer more and more in the future. It's called Meet the Fabbers. And today we're starting with Ivan and Marta from Fab Lab Oulu in Finland that would like to introduce their Fab Labs and get in touch with other Fabbers working in.
Hello, my name is Ivan.
I am Marta.
And we come from Fab Lab Oulu. Oulu is a city that is placed 200 meters from the North Circle, 800 kilometers north from Helsinki, and we opened the Fab Lab in 2015. Our Fab Lab is specially dedicated, it's inside the University of Oulu, one of the biggest universities in Finland, and we are specialized in education. We are bringing schools to the Fab Lab. We have education for our university students, and now we are starting training teachers. So if you want to know more about us, or do you want to contact us, please feel free. I guess the address will appear. Hopefully.
Or just at fablab/Oulu.
To your social media.
Regarding other topics that might be interesting to you, Scratch has just announced that they are releasing the Scratch 3 version. It was like 1st August when they released this new version that is available at the website that I linked down here below. Version number 3 will be the official release version from the very beginning of 2019. So if you are working in education, if you are teaching coding or block-based coding, it could be a really interesting opportunity to get in touch and learn about the new features of the platform before that's the final version for the project. For those who speak Spanish, we have another channel called Laura Maker, where we are releasing today also an interview with Walter Gonzalez that explains the role of digital fabrication in Peruvian traditional handcrafts. So if you like to follow the interview and know more about the recently published book by Walter, feel free to go to Laura Maker. I will link it up here. And you will be able to know more about why he dresses like the way he does, why he's trying always to engage people to do other stuff. And I think it's a really valuable lesson about the power of the network just to keep traditions alive in a new refurbished way. Last topic for today is going to be one highly controversial. This is 3D printed guns. Why are we talking about 3D printed guns here instead of the Fab, and why it matters? Okay, let me just offer you a brief wrap up. So a few years ago, like 5 years ago, a guy called Cody Wilson created a non-profit called Defense Distributed. The goal of the non-profit is just to share the plans or blueprints for people to create weapons, firearms at home using 3D printers. And he even released some plans called the Liberator, and eventually there was a federal lawsuit that took just 5 years and was settled on June. So this settlement made possible for Defense Distributed to share the blueprints for the weapons. So, what is the current situation right now? Robert Laskins is a judge in the United States District that has issued a temporary ban so no one can get the files. Also, to mitigate the release of blueprints in the long term, a couple of senators have introduced a couple of bills. First one is to prohibit, make illegal for people to distribute 3D printed plans about how to make weapons. And the second one says that it could be mandatory for any kind of gun or legal gun or weapon to have some metal part with a serial number, so the weapons could be traced. Because right now the main issue with these weapons for people trying to ban the release of blueprints is this cannot be traced. You can make them on plastic, you can customize them, and you basically they call these the ghost guns, they cannot be traced. So to give you a broader vision around this, a few years ago Neil was asked about this, and he said, I don't know why would anyone create something like a 3D printed gun that would eventually blow in your hand, because it's not something you could... this is not the thing you do with a 3D printer where it can blow super bad and injure you and harm you and make maybe more dangerous for you than for anyone else. There are some, but these Defense Distributed people are also migrating for 3D printers. So, for example, they are releasing the instructions to create something called the ghost gunner using milling machines. Most people would agree that 3D printing is not a great technology just to build something that could blow out in your hand or even kill yourself if you do it improperly. But right now this issue is taken to a completely different mindset. So Cody Wilson and Defense Distributed just say this is an issue of the First and Second Amendment, and it's more related to the possibility for you to share and to freedom of expression, and also about the right to own a weapon, because there is this thing in American culture, if people have weapons, they could overthrow a government of tyrants, or they could defend themselves and keep things secure by having weapons. I think this is something that most people in the world would not agree with this point of view, but at least it has a step in the United States law. So right now the current state is you cannot get the blueprints, Defense Distribute cannot share them, and this is going to be reviewed 10th August. So let's keep an eye on how this evolves, and I'd like to know, what is your point of view about this whole 3D printed guns thing? Do you think it's going to be an issue? Do you think it's something that has just jumped into the public sphere because of fear? Because maybe people don't know about other methods, so it seems super simple and super safe to do it by the pressing of a button? So I'd like to know your opinion, so please share it here down in the comments on the YouTube video. And so here it ends second chapter of State of the Fab. If you'd like to know more about what's happening in the Fab Lab Network and the Maker Movement, don't forget to subscribe here down below and click on the bell so you get notifications for new videos. Also, just if you want to share some news, if you want to send a brief video about your Fab Lab and you'd like it to be featured here, just forward it to news@stateofthefab.com. And well, given it's summertime, I wish you all have good holidays. Enjoy this wonderful weather wherever you are going or traveling or living or visiting, and let's keep on talking here at State of the Fab.